So today we have to start the preparation of financial statements. So this asset accounting material will contain the material for financial statements also. So the financial statements together is called financial statement version, and this financial statement version contains 5 pages. All these 5 pages is only one step. You have to do this step as it is. There isn't any logic behind that. If you want to prepare the P&L account and balance sheet, you have to do this step as it is. See, define financial statement version. SPRO, financial accounting, general ledger accounting, business transactions, closing, document, define financial statement version. Click on new entries. Financial statement version is equal to 3366. Give some name. Let us use our company code name only. Name is equal to balance sheet profit and loss account. Maintenance language EM English. Then select item keys automatic. Item keys automatic means for the items in the P&L account and balance sheet, the system automatically gives the numbers by itself. Chart of accounts 3366. So from which chart of accounts you want the system to draw the financial statements? From this chart of accounts. Click on save. Click on financial statements items button. Keep the cursor on 3366 financial statement version. Here keep the cursor on 3366. Within brackets your company code is there, right? It's not company code. You make it as financial statement version. Keep the cursor on 3366. Within brackets financial statement version. Look at the screen please. Here liabilities and equity means liabilities. So this is the liability side of your balance sheet, and assets side of the balance sheet. So we have the headings for liabilities and assets side of the balance sheet, but we don't have the headings required for P&L account, right? That's why you have to provide these two headings. For that, keep the cursor on 3366 financial statement version. Click on create items. Click on create items. Now you have to provide the headings. Incomes, expenditures, and surplus or loss carried to balance sheet. Click on, so surplus or loss carried to balance sheet means profit loss appropriation account or retained earnings account. Click on enter. Now double click on no text exists against liabilities plus equity. Here item is equal to liabilities. Click on enter. Double click on no text exists against assets. Item is equal to assets. Click on enter. So here we have provided all the headings required for P&L account and balance sheet. Click on save. Now if you look at the order of the items, incomes and expenditure is there. After surplus or loss carried to balance sheet is there. After that liabilities and assets are there. So in this order only the system will display the financial statements. Means the system will display first the P&L account. After that surplus or loss carried to balance sheet account. Then after that balance sheet is displayed. So at the time of preparing a financial statements, first we prepare P&L account and balance sheet. But at the time of display, first we have to display the balance sheet. After that we have to display the P&L account. So according to that requirement, you have to reshuffle the items. Means the incomes heading is to be taken after assets, right? That's our requirement. See how it is done. and in your material, you strike off these three lines. Keep the cursor on assets, click F9 to select. Keep the cursor on liabilities, click on reassign button, select the same level, click on enter. You strike off these lines. Then keep the cursor on incomes, press F9 to select. You can use the system, you can use the F9 key in your keyboard, or you can click on this button. Then that incomes line is turned into yellow. So where this income is to be taken? After assets, right? So keep the cursor on assets, click on reassign button, select the same level, click on enter. See, incomes is taken after assets. Now expenditure is to be taken after incomes, right? Keep the cursor on expenditure, press F9 to select, keep the cursor on incomes, click on reassign button, select the same level, click on enter and save. Now see the next step. Keep the cursor on liabilities, click on create items. Now here on the liability side, what are the headings you want to provide, and asset side, what are the headings you want to provide, and on the income side and expenditure side of the P&L account, what are the headings you want to provide. So on each side of the balance sheet and the profit and loss account, whatever the headings you want to provide, these headings are to be done here. So keep the cursor on liabilities, click on create items. On the liability side, how you have to classify your GL accounts. For example, share capital, then reserves and surpluses, then surplus or loss carried to balance sheet, means profit loss appropriation account, then accumulated depreciation. See the material please. Accumulated depreciation, secured loans, unsecured loans, current liabilities and provisions. If you notice that these are nothing but your account groups on the liability side. See, except the surplus or loss carried to balance sheet, all others are our account groups. So if necessary, you can keep your basic settings material with you. No, Ronnie, you have received the asset accounting material, no? Did you receive asset accounting material? So in the same asset accounting material file, the financial statement version is there. It is there. In the same file, we have this financial statement version. Please check. So in addition to account groups, we can have any number of other headings. Then keep the cursor on assets. Click on create items. Assets, fixed assets, then current assets, then miscellaneous expenses not yet adjusted. Means if you get the profit, that is shown on the liability side of the balance sheet, but if you get the loss, that is shown on the assets of the balance sheet under the heading miscellaneous expenses not yet adjusted. So here you can assume that in addition to your account groups, you can add any number of other headings in the financial statement version. Click on enter. Then keep the cursor on incomes and see the material please. Similarly, create items under income and expenditure. Keep the cursor on incomes. Click on create items. sales, then other incomes, then increase or decrease of stocks. Click on enter. Then we have to include the items on expenditure side. Keep the cursor on expenditure. Click on create items. Raw material consumption, then personnel cost, then manufacturing cost, then administration cost, then interest, then depreciation. Click on enter. So like that you provide all the headings. Then after that, double click on no text exists against net result is equal to profit. You go to the top of the page. Here you have no text exists against net result is equal to profit, right? Double click on this. Item is equal to net profit transfer from profit and loss account. Click on enter. Now, if you get the net profit, where it has to be displayed on the liability side under the heading surplus or loss carried to balance sheet, right? Sorry, just a minute. On the liability side, I have done a mistake. Here, profit and loss after operation account. Yeah. So if you get the profit, it has to be displayed on the liability side under the heading profit loss after operation account, right? So this heading has to be linked with the profit loss after operation account, right? So keep the cursor on net profit transfer from profit and loss account. Press F9 to select. So where this heading is to be linked? Profit loss after operation account, right? So keep the cursor on profit and loss after operation account. Click on reassign button. Here the balance in the P&L account is to be displayed under profit loss after operation account, right? So we have to select subordinate. Click on enter. See? So the net profit transfer from profit loss account is linked to profit loss after operation account. Then double click on no text exists against net result is equal to loss. Item is equal to net loss transfer from profit and loss account. Click on enter. Then if you get the net loss, that has to be displayed under the heading miscellaneous expenses not yet adjusted on the asset side, right? So keep the cursor on net loss transfer from profit and loss account. Press F9 to select. Keep the cursor on miscellaneous expenses not yet adjusted. Click on reassign button. Select subordinate level. Click on enter and save. Now, assignment of accounts. So for each heading on the asset side, liability side, P&L accounts, income side and expenditure side, we have to assign the accounts. Keep the cursor on share capital. Click on assign accounts. From account is 1 lakh to 1 lakh 99. Select debit, select credit. Click on enter. Means here, one second. Now, here, see, we have assigned the GL accounts 1 lakh to 1 lakh 99 to the heading share capital. Means the system will take the balances in all the GL accounts between these two numbers, and those balances are displayed under the heading share capital. And we have selected debit and credit, right? Means in these GL accounts, whether there is a debit balance or credit balance, the system will take those balances and will be displayed under the heading share capital. That is what exactly happens here. Then keep the cursor on reserves and surpluses. Click on SN accounts. From account is 1 lakh 101 to 1 lakh 199. Select debit, select credit. And 1 lakh 100 we have, right? So 1 lakh 100 is the retained earnings account. So that has to be assigned to surplus or loss carried to balance sheet. Click on enter. And see the material what written there. So similarly assign all accounts for groups. Underline this. Underline these two words. For groups means we have to assign the GL accounts only for account groups. So do you have any account group with the profit loss appropriation account? No. So don't assign any GL accounts there. Then we have the account group with the name accumulated depreciation. So assign the accounts. Keep the cursor on accumulated depreciation. Click on SN accounts. From account is 1 lakh 200 to 1 lakh 299. Select debit, select credit. Click on enter. Keep the cursor on secured loans. Click on SN accounts. From account is 1 lakh 300 to 1 lakh 399. Select debit, select credit. Click on enter. Keep the cursor on unsecured loans. Click on SN accounts. From account is 1 lakh 400 to 1 lakh 499. Select debit, select credit. Click on enter. Keep the cursor on current liabilities and provisions. Click on SN accounts. From account is 1 lakh 500 to 1 lakh 599. Select debit, select credit. Click on enter. Now, we don't have any account group with the name assets, right? So don't assign any GL accounts there. But we have the account group with the name fixed assets, right? So we have to assign the GL accounts. Keep the cursor on fixed assets. Click on SN accounts. From account is 2 lakhs to 2 lakh 99. Select debit, select credit. Click on enter. Keep the cursor on current assets. Click on SN accounts. From account is 2 lakh 100 to account 2 lakh 199. Select debit, select credit. Click on enter. So we don't have any account group with the name miscellaneous expenses not yet adjusted. So don't assign any GL accounts there. Now we don't have any account group with the name incomes, right? So don't assign any GL accounts there. Then we have the account group with the name sales, right? So keep the cursor on sales. Click on SN accounts. From account is 3 lakhs to 3 lakh 99. Select debit, select credit. Click on enter. Keep the cursor on other incomes. Click on SN accounts. From account is 3 lakh 100 to 3 lakh 199. Select debit, select credit. Click on enter. Keep the cursor on increase or decrease of stocks. Click on SN accounts. From account is 3 lakh 200 to 3 lakh 299. Select debit, select credit. Select credit. Click on enter. And we don't have any account group with the name expenditure, right? So don't assign any GL accounts there. But we have the account groups with these names. So we have to assign the GL accounts for all these account groups. Keep the cursor on raw material consumption. Click on SN accounts. From account is 4 lakhs to account is 4 lakh 99. Select debit, select credit. Click on enter. Keep the cursor on personal cost. Click on SN accounts. From account is 4 lakh 100 to 4 lakh 199. Select debit, select credit. Click on enter. Keep the cursor on manufacturing cost. Click on SN accounts. From account is 4 lakh 200 to 4 lakh 299. Select debit, select credit. Click on enter. Keep the cursor on administration cost. Click on SN accounts. From account is 4 lakh 300 to 4 lakh 399. Select debit, select credit. Click on enter. Keep the cursor on interest. Click on SN accounts. From account is 4,400,000 to 4,499,000. Select debit, select credit, click on enter. And if necessary, as I said, you can keep your basic settings material with you. Keep the cursor on depreciation, click on SN accounts. From account is 4,500,000 to 4,599,000. Select debit, select credit, click on enter. Click on save. Now, here, to check whether all the accounts have been assigned, select the check button, select non-assigned accounts and click on enter. In our class, we have created just 40-50 GL accounts, but in the real time, the client may have hundreds of ledger accounts. So during the process of assigning these accounts into financial statement version, the consultant might have forgotten to assign some of the GL accounts. In that case, your financial statements will not be correct. That's why we have one check. So I want to check whether we have assigned all the GL accounts or not. In that case, this is called check button. Click on this check button, right? Then you deselect incorrectly assigned accounts and accounts assigned to one side only. I want to check non-assigned accounts. Click on enter. See, the following accounts from the chart of accounts 3366 have not been allocated in the financial statement version. So I have forgotten to assign this 1,100,000, right? Now we have to assign this. By mistake I have done that. Anyhow, it has shown. Keep the cursor on surplus or loss carried to balance sheet. Click on SN accounts. From account is 1,100,000 to 1,199,000. Select debit, select credit, click on enter. Not 1,199,000, 1,100,000 only. Retained earnings account. Click on enter and save. Now again you can select this check button. See, all accounts from chart of accounts 3366 have been allocated in the financial statement version. So from now onwards, we are going to perform one activity. So what is the impact of that activity or what is the impact of that step? I will explain you in the financial statements. And see the material. Double click on liabilities. Start of the group is liabilities. End of the group is total liabilities. Here, I am going to provide the headings. See, on the liability side, on the top of the liability side, I want to have the heading liabilities. Then on the liability side, share capital this much, sundry debtors this much, sundry creditors this much, current liabilities this much, reserves and surpluses this much. Like that, the system will display all the balances. Then the system will total all these balances, and against the total, I want to have the heading total liabilities. That is the impact of this. These headings are provided. Click on enter. Then keep the double click on share capital. Start of the group is application of funds. So above the share capital, the system will display one more heading, source of funds. The liabilities are always sources of funds. Then end of the group is share capital. Click on enter. Double click on reserves and surpluses. End of the group is reserves and surpluses. Click on enter. See, similarly do the same thing for all the account groups on the liability side. Here you have to rectify two words. It's not account groups. It's not account groups. All other items. All other items on the liability side. So double click on profit loss appropriation account. End of the group is net profit for the year. Click on enter. Double click on accumulated depreciation. End of the group is accumulated depreciation. Click on enter. Double click on secured loans. End of the group is secured loans. Double click on unsecured loans. End of the group is unsecured loans. Double click on current liabilities and provisions. End of the group is current liabilities and provisions. Click on enter. Now, just 1 second, just 1 minute. Yes, I am back. Now, double click on assets. Start of the group is assets. So on the top of the asset side, the system will display one heading assets. End of the group, total assets. So the system will total all the current assets and fixed assets. Against the total, the system will display total assets. Click on enter. Double click on fixed assets. Start of the group is application of funds. Assets are always application of funds. End of the group is fixed assets. Click on enter and see the material again. Double click on current assets. End of the group is current assets. Click on enter and see the material again, please. Similarly, do the same thing for all account groups on the asset side. Again, you strike off account groups. You make it as other items. Double click on miscellaneous expenses not yet adjusted. End of the group is net loss for the year. Click on enter. Double click on incomes. Start of the group is incomes. End of the group is total incomes. Click on enter. Double click on sales. End of the group is sales. Now see the material again. Similarly, do the same thing for all account groups. Again, you strike off account groups, all other items. Double click on other incomes. End of the group is other incomes. Double click on increase or decrease of stocks. End of the group is increase or decrease of stocks. Click on enter. Double click on expenditure. Start of the group is expenditure. End of the group is total expenditure. Click on enter. Double click on raw material consumption. End of the group is raw material consumption. And see the material again. Similarly, do the same thing for all account groups is there, right? You make it as all other items in the place of account groups. Double click on personal cost. End of the group is personal cost. Double click on manufacturing cost. End of the group is manufacturing cost. Double click on administration cost. End of the group is administration cost. Double click on interest. End of the group is interest. Double click on depreciation. End of the group is depreciation. Click on enter. Now, double click on surplus or loss carried to balance sheet. Go to the top of the page. Go to the top of the screen. Double click on surplus or loss carried to balance sheet. End of the group is surplus or loss carried to balance sheet. Now, double click on no text exists against net result is equal to P plus L is equal result. Means if you want to display the financial result in only one line, then you have to do this step. Otherwise, not necessary. So I want to display what are the financial result in only one line. In that case, I am doing this. Double click on no text exists against P plus L is equal result. Item is equal to surplus or loss carried to balance sheet. End of the group also surplus or loss carried to balance sheet. Select display total. Display total is selected defaultly. Click on enter and save. This is how we define the format of P&L account and balance sheet. Now the user executes one transaction code on any day, then the system will display the P&L account and balance sheet. See, to view the balance sheet and profit and loss account, S underscore ALR underscore 870122284. S underscore ALR underscore 870. What is that? 12284. 870 12284. Chart of accounts is equal to 3366. I think chart of accounts is not there. Please write down. Chart of accounts is equal to 3366. Company code 3366. Financial statement version 3366. Reporting year. So fiscal year has changed, So reporting year is equal to 2017. So I want to draw the financial statements for the 2017. Reporting period 1 to 16, including the adjustments made in the special periods. Then comparison year 2016. 2016. So the current year financial statements are to be compared with the previous year financial statements, right? Comparison periods are 1 to 16. Then go to special evaluations tab. Balance sheet type 1. Balance sheet type 1 means standard financial statements. Suppose if you want to draw the funds flow statement, you have to select funds flow. Suppose if you want to draw the balance sheet accounts like type 1 plus P&L account type means if you want to display operating profit and loss account, non-operating profit and loss account, and profit and loss appropriation account and balance sheet. In that case, you have to select 3. Then if you are preparing opening balance sheet, then we have to enter 4. Generally, for the purpose of financial statements, always we use 1. Then go to output control tab. Company code summarization 1 means balance sheet per company code. Then business area summarization 1 means balance sheet per business area. All these things are there in the material. Then in your material, summary report 3 is there, right? It's not 3. You make it, you strike it off. Comparison type 1. So you have the 2 types of comparisons. So comparison type 1 means percentage comparison. Do one thing, comparison type 1 within brackets percentage comparison. Within brackets, it is there, I think. Percentage increase means, I told you, no, every year the current year financial statements have to be compared with the previous year financial statements. Now, current year is 2017 and previous year is 2016. So in the 2017, your raw material consumption is 12 lakhs. Okay. Then the 2016 raw material consumption is 10 lakhs. What is the increase? 2 lakhs, right? So what is the percentage of this 2 lakhs over the comparison figure 10 lakhs? Are you getting my point? What is the percentage of this increase 2 lakhs over the previous year figure 10 lakhs? 20%. So the system will display 20%. Suppose if you have 2 means, suppose this year 12 lakhs is the raw material consumption, last year 10 lakhs. Then what is the percentage of 12 lakhs? Of 10 lakhs, 120%. That is the difference. So generally we use always 1. Then scaling. How do you want to scale your figures? Means here 5 by 1 means 100,000. 100,000 means in terms of Indian figures, right? It is rupees in lakhs. It is called 100,000, 100,000s in US. Suppose if you want to display figures in millions, you enter 6 by 0. Right? If you want to display figures in crores, 7 by 0. The logic is in 100,000, that is 1 lakh. How many zeros are there? 5. In million, 10 lakhs. How many zeros are there? 6. In 1 crore, how many zeros are there? 7. So whether you want to display figures in lakhs, millions or crores, that is entered here. After slash, again you have 1 0. What is that? How many decimals you want to display? So here, oh my God. 1 second. By mistake. By mistake, I closed the screen. So, if I enter 5 by 2 means rupees in 100,000, sorry, dollars in 100,000 or rupees in lakhs. And after decimal, I want to have 2 places. Then go to further evaluations tab. Here SAP has defined 3 standard formats. I am going to show you all the 3 standard formats. First is let us select a classical list. Select a classical list, click on execute. So your profit is 4.97. At the end of the financial statement version, you have done one step, no? Double click on no text exists against P plus L is equal result. I told you, no, if you want to display the result at one time, I mean in single line, if you want to display your result in single line, you have to do this step, right? We have done that step. So this is the effect. Now here You have double clicked on liabilities. Start of the group you have given liabilities, right? So liabilities heading is there. You have double clicked on liabilities. End of the group you have given total liabilities, right? So this is the total liabilities. That is the impact of that step. So your total liabilities are 23.21 lakhs, out of which share capital 10 lakhs, net profit for the year 4.97, accumulated depreciation 0.24, 24,000. 0.24 lakhs means 24,000. So accumulated depreciation of plant and machinery is only 24,000. So this is your total liabilities. Then total assets. Total assets 23.21. See, out of which fixed assets are 2 lakhs. Current assets are 21.21. Out of which, what is the bifurcation? Cash 30.70. It has gone into minus, overdrawn. HSBC Bank also overdrawn. Petty cash account, this much. Inventory of raw material account, this much. Sundry debtors, this much. Advances to vendors, this much. So here you have double clicked on assets, right? Start of the group you have given assets. End of the group you have given total assets. See, then for every heading you double clicked on the heading and the end of the group you have given. For example, you have double clicked on current assets. End of the group you have given current assets. So the system is displaying all the individual current assets. Then against the total, it is displaying the current assets. Suppose my requirement is I want to have this current assets heading here. Under the current assets heading, I want to have this bifurcation. In that case, double click on current assets, then start of the group. That is the logic. Now, your total incomes is 6.25. These are the details. Then total expenditure is 1.28 and we have seen the profit 4.97. This is one format defined in the system. Then click on back arrow. Select ALV grid control. So in this ALV grid control, the system will display the values along with the decimals without any rounding offs. Ignore the messages. See, your profit is exactly this much, 4,97,438.00. So every figure is displayed in the form of along with the decimal values. Click on back arrow. Let us see the third, this one, ALV tree control. Click on execute. It will look like this. Originally, it will look like this. Your profit is this much. Your liabilities is this much. Your assets is this much. Incomes is this much and expenditure is this much. So what is the bifurcation of assets? Click on this. Fixed assets is 21.21. Current assets is 6.21. Following. Then what is the bifurcation of current assets? Cash, this much. HSBC Bank, this much. Petty cash, this much. Inventory of raw material, this much. Sundry debtors, 7,15,000. Advance to vendors, 20,000. So this is another format of P&L account and balance sheet. So if you want to have another format, we cannot do it as a functional consultant. We have to help. We have to take the help from the above consultants. Then we can draw any format you want. So this is the financial statement version. So tomorrow we start controlling, and today along with the recording, I will send you the material for controlling. Akila, you have any questions? Anil? We will discuss modules tomorrow. We will discuss. Khalid, it's only 2 minutes topic. See, see, petty cash, right? I told you know some of the topics I'm going to send you. Okay. So as a part of it, I have recorded petty cash topic in our company code. That's the reason why it is showing the petty cash. Actually, we did not create the petty cash account in our this thing. Okay, Akila, I'm going to send you the recording for that. Petty cash, noted items, and also one-time customers, one-time vendors, like this, like this. The topics, some of the topics, right? Because in order to cover those topics, it takes a lot of time. It takes 6 months, 7 months also. That's why what I have decided is I am recording whenever I have the time. I am recording those topics, right? I am sending it to them. These are just like your bonus. Madhusudan, any questions? Okay. Chandrasekhar, okay. Roni, okay. Srinivas, Srinivas, I think there is a problem from his side. Srinivas,
Yes, sir.
any questions?
Yes, sir.
Tell me.
Sir, how to upload asset transactions?
Oh, I forgotten that. It is there in the path. Financial accounting, asset accounting. I have to check for the path. So I will give you the message in the WhatsApp, okay? And for others, I will tell you in the tomorrow's class. I have to check this. Yeah, here. This one. This is the path, right? You have the two types of uploading the fixed assets. Data transfer workbench, which is used by web consultants, and define enhancement for data direct import. The transaction code is here. OA13 you can use. Otherwise, using Excel, right, you can upload the fixed assets. So in order to upload the fixed assets through Excel sheet, the path is, you can write down, if anybody wants, they can write down. To upload the asset master records, path, financial accounting, asset accounting, of course, SPRO should be there. SPRO, financial accounting, asset accounting, data transfer, asset data transfer, automatic data transfer, automatic data transfer. So in this folder, you can see all the methods of exporting your fixed assets master record.
Sir,
Tell me, Srinivas.
sir, how to upload asset transactions means we have what we
No,
have
no,
to
no,
say,
no.
sir. Answer.
No, 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 not uploading asset transactions. Please remember, asset master records. Are you getting my point? So for uploading the asset transactions, we use LSMW, Legacy System Migration Workbench. So using the Legacy System Migration Workbench, we can upload master data and also transactional data. So what is the LSMW? I will send you the material to all of you. It's not possible to show you in the class. Along with the screenshots, I will send you the material.
And just now you showed, na, sir, that is for uploading master data, sir.
Asset master records. If you want to upload the transactional data, LSMW is there. Legacy System Migration Workbench. Transaction code is also LSMW.
Sir, for both master data and transactional data, we can upload through LSMW.
Yes, but only for assets, right? We can use in a different way also. Only for assets. Okay. So this is the LSMW transaction code. Okay, Srinivas.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Okay then. See you tomorrow same time. Good night and good day.